You're very kissable. You should be happy that I restrained myself as much as I did."
"Yeah, right." With that, he leapt in the air. I let out a squeal at his sudden move. Calmly, he started climbing the rope. He pulled us up hand over hand, stepping onto limbs when he could, sometimes keeping one hand on the rope and one on a branch for balance. Kishan was always careful not to injure me. Other than the bouncing, the swinging hundreds or maybe thousands of feet into the air, and the stomach-dropping leaps from branches, I felt pretty comfortable. In fact, it was a little too comfortable being pressed up against him. Tarzan-like men are my weakness, apparently. When we reached the treehouse door, Kishan climbed the rope a little higher and hung still while I carefully disengaged myself and jumped onto the wooden floor. Then he kicked off, swung, and landed with a flourish. Clearly, he was having fun. "Stop showing off, for heaven's sake. Do you realize how far up we are and that you could fall to a grisly death at any moment? You are acting like this is a great, fun adventure." He replied,
"I have no idea how far up we are, and I don't care, but yes, I'm having fun. I like being a man all the time, and I like being with you." He wrapped his hands around my waist and drew me closer. I extricated myself as quickly as possible. I couldn't blame him for the being human part, and didn't know what to say about the being with me part, so I said nothing. We sat down on the wooden floor of the treehouse and searched through all of Mr. Kadam's notes. We read through them twice and waited, but still nothing happened in the treehouse. This was supposed to be the house of birds, but I didn't see any. Maybe we were in the wrong place. I started to get antsy. "Hello? Is anybody here?" My voice echoed. A flapping and hoarse croaking "ronk" answered me. Up in the corner of the treehouse, we saw a hidden nest. 2 black ravens peeped over the edge to watch us. They called to each other with a thumping sound, a knocking that came from deep in their throats. The birds left their perch and circled the treehouse, performing acrobatics in the air. They did somersaults and even flew upside down. Each pass brought them closer to us. Kishan unlatched his chakram and raised it like a knife. I put my hand on his and shook my head slightly. "Let's wait and see what they do." "What do you want from us?" I asked. The birds landed a few feet away. One twisted its head and stared at me with one black eye. A black tongue tasted the air from the beak's rictus as the bird moved closer. I heard a rough, scratchy voice say, "Want from us?" "Do you understand me?" The 2 birds bobbed their heads up and down, stopping occasionally to preen feathers. "What are we doing here? Who are you?" The birds hopped a little closer. One said,
"Hugin."
And I could have sworn the other said,
"Moonin."
I marveled incredulously. "You're Hugin and Moonin?" The blackheads bobbed up and down again. They hopped a little closer. "Did you steal my bracelet?"
"And the amulet?"
Kishan added. Heads bobbed. "Well, we want everything back. You can keep the honey cakes. You probably already ate them anyway." The birds squawked hoarsely, snapped their beaks loudly, and flapped their wings at us. Ruffled feathers puffed up, making the birds look much bigger than they were. I folded my arms across my chest. "Not going to give them back, huh? We'll see about that." The birds hesitantly danced closer, and one hopped onto my knee. Kishan was immediately concerned. I touched his arm. If they are Hugin and Moonin, they whisper thoughts and memories into Odin's ears. They may want to sit on our shoulders and speak to us. It appeared I was right, because the minute I tilted my head to one side,
One of the birds flapped its wings and settled on my shoulder. It stuck its beak near my ear, and I waited to hear it speak. Instead, I felt a curious pulling sensation. The bird tugged gently on something in my ear, but I felt no pain. "What are you doing?" I asked.
Thoughts are stuck.
"What?"
Thoughts are stuck.
I felt another gentle tug, a snap, and then Hugin hopped away with a filmy web-like strand hanging from his beak. I covered my ear with my hand. "What did you do? Did you steal part of my brain? Do I have brain damage?"
Thoughts are stuck.
"What does that mean?" The strand hanging from the beak slowly dissipated as the bird clacked its beak. I sat there, staring, mouth gaping wide in horror, and wondered what had been done to me. Did it steal a memory? I racked my brain trying to remember everything important. I searched for some gap, some emptiness. If the bird did steal a memory, I had no idea what it could be. Kishan touched my hand.
"Are you okay? How do you feel?"
"I feel fine. It's just—" My words fell away as something shifted in my mind. Something was happening. Something was dragging across the surface of my mind like a squeegee over soapy glass. I could feel a layer of confusion, mental clutter, and dirt, for lack of a better word, peeling away like dead skin after a sunburn. It was as if random fears, worries, and dismal thoughts had been clogging the pores of my consciousness. For a moment, I could see everything I needed to do with perfect clarity. I knew we were almost at our goal. I knew there would be fierce protectors guarding the scarf. I knew what the scarf was, and I knew what it could do. In that moment, I knew how we'd use it to save Ren. Moonin hopped back and forth in front of Kishan, waiting for its turn. "It's okay, Kishan. Go ahead, let it sit on your shoulder. It won't hurt you, trust me." He looked at me doubtfully, but he cocked his head to one side anyway. I watched with fascination as Moonin flapped its wings and landed on Kishan's shoulder. He kept its wings open, flapping them up and down lazily as it worked on Kishan's ear. I spoke to Hugin. "Is Moonin doing the same thing to Kishan?" The bird shook its head and shifted from foot to foot. It started preening its feathers. "Well, what's the difference? What will it do?"
Wait for it.
"Wait for it?" The bird nodded. Moonin hopped down to the floor and held a wispy black strand in his mouth about the size of an earthworm. It opened its beak and swallowed it. That looked different, Kishan. What happened? Are you okay?" He responded quietly.
"I'm fine. He showed me..."
"Showed you what?"
"He showed me my memories in full detail. I saw everything that happened. I saw Yesubhai and me all over again. I saw my parents, Kadam, Ren, all of it. But with one major difference."
I took his hand in mine. "What is it? What's the difference?"
"That black thread you saw, it's hard to explain, but it's like the bird removed a dark pair of sunglasses from my eyes. I saw everything as it really was, as it really happened. It wasn't just from my perception anymore. It was like I was an outside observer."
"Is the memory different now?"
"It's not different. It's clearer. I could see that Yesubhai was a sweet girl who cared for me, but she was encouraged to seek me out. She didn't love me the same way I felt for her. She was afraid of her father. She obeyed him completely, but she was also desperate to leave him. in the end. It was her father who killed her. He threw her viciously, hard enough to cause her neck to break. How did I overlook her fear, her anxiety?
He rubbed his jaw.
She hid it well. He took advantage of my feelings for her. I should have seen what he was all along, but I was blind, infatuated. How could I not see this before?
Love makes you do crazy things sometimes.
What about you? What did you see?
I sort of got my brain hoovered.
What does hoovered mean?
Hoover is a vacuum. My thoughts are clear. Like your memories are clear. In fact, I now know how to get the scarf and what comes next. But first things first. I jumped up and lifted the nest tucked into the corner of the treehouse. The two birds hopped up and down, squawking in irritation. They flew over to me and flapped their wings in my face. I'm sorry, but it's your own fault, you know. You're the ones who cleared my mind. Besides, these belong to us. We need them. I took the camera, my bracelet, and the amulet out of the nest. Kishan helped me attach the bracelet and the amulet chain and tucked the camera in the bag. The birds looked at me sulkily. Maybe we can give you something else instead as compensation for losing your prizes, I said. Kishan hunted up a fishhook, a glow stick, and a compass and placed them in the nest. After I put the nest back, the birds flew up to inspect their new treasures. Thank you both. Come on, Kishan. Follow me.